In today's video, I'm going to show you the most valuable tips and tricks you'll need to make it through the first weeks of breastfeeding and cluster feedings. Hey, it's Morgan. Welcome to the Passable Parent channel. I've been a pediatric nurse for the past 10 years specializing in early childhood development, and I'm also a mom. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you don't miss out on any future videos. And make sure to comment down below if you have any questions or tips for other mamas. I love to hear from all of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Breastfeeding is incredibly hard. This is something I knew from my years of experience as a nurse, but truly could not understand just how difficult it was until I became a mom myself. The first 3 weeks were incredibly challenging for me, and there were many times I would cry, felt defeated, and would question how much longer I could continue to breastfeed. I'm happy to say that I am still breastfeeding my son today, and he is well over a year old. I never would have thought I would be breastfeeding this long if you had said this to me my first few weeks of breastfeeding. I really wanted to make this video because through my own challenges and struggles with breastfeeding, I learned tips and tricks that I hope will make your breastfeeding journey less difficult. In the beginning of your breastfeeding journey, it is normal for your baby to require frequent feedings every 2 to 3 hours, and when your baby goes through cluster feedings, the time between feedings is even shorter. Typically, the first round of cluster feedings occurs before your baby is 3 weeks of age. During this time, your baby might be more fussy and only finds comfort when at the breast. They may want to nurse every 15 to 20 minutes for hours, especially in the evenings. As a mama, I know how exhausting and frustrating this experience can be. It can be extremely physically draining and demanding, as well as take a mental toll on you and make you wonder how long you can continue to breastfeed and if there's something wrong with your milk, like maybe you aren't making enough. I'm here to tell you, mama, this is normal. Your feelings are normal and cluster feeding is normal. And most likely you are making enough milk. Cluster feeding or frequent nursing, especially when your baby is a newborn, is a natural process that causes your body to increase milk production and create more of a milk supply. With breastfeeding, supply equals demand. Your baby frequently nursing, demand, causes your body to make more milk, supply. It also happens because your baby is growing like crazy, especially during these first weeks. Every day your baby is having rapid brain growth and growth spurts, especially during the first 6 weeks of life. And when they're going through these growth spurts, they need more milk. They may also be cluster feeding or frequently nursing for comfort. This is all new to them, this whole world, and it's overwhelming, so they seek your comfort to build a strong, secure foundation, which will later help them explore the world and create strong bonds and relationships. Suckling also releases stress-reducing hormones in your baby, so it is best in the first weeks of life, especially, to feed your baby on demand and allow them to nurse as frequently as needed. Here are some tips to help you survive the first weeks of breastfeeding and those frequent nursing sessions or cluster feeds. Trust that your body is producing enough milk for your baby and that those frequent feedings are normal and nature's way of increasing your milk supply. Your breasts are constantly making milk to meet your baby's demands. And if you are concerned about whether or not your baby is getting enough milk, you can actually check out my other video on increasing milk supply and how to tell whether or not your baby is getting enough milk. Some examples of this include your baby is not gaining weight, following your pediatrician's guidelines, or making enough wet diapers per day. Expect these cluster feedings and frequent feedings to happen, but know that they won't last forever and they will end. I think part of the reason it was so difficult for myself and for many other mamas is not knowing to anticipate that this is normal and occurs in those first weeks. Babies, especially newborns, often want to cluster feed in the evenings or before bedtime. Typically, their bedtimes as newborns are late, so think 10 p.m., 11 p.m., even 12 a.m. So try to get rest when you can, if possible, in the beginning of the day, during your baby's naps, knowing that they will most likely want to cluster feed later in the day. You can take deep breaths during latching. Due to the frequent nursing and latching and unlatching, your nipples become incredibly sore and painful. It is helpful during latching to take a deep breath in through the nose and repeat calming affirmations to yourself, whatever feels right to you to help you through this. For instance, something I repeated to myself is, "You are capable and you are strong." I also would tell myself, take it session by session. You can rotate your breastfeeding position so that different parts of the nipple are getting stimulated. There are many different positions like cradle, side lying, football hold, and all of these different positions give different parts of your nipple more stimulation than others. One of my favorite things that really saved my nipples was using gel pads for my nipples between feedings. Remember, it takes weeks for your nipples to get used to breastfeeding. Until then, many women have dry, cracked, or even bleeding nipples. Gel pads, especially the Soothies by Lancinol, they saved me between feedings. This is my favorite brand, and I link them down below for you in the description box. I will demonstrate for you how they go on, and you can wear them in your bra between feedings to create a barrier between your nipples and your clothing. You can even keep them in your fridge for extra cooling effects and relief. And you can reuse them and store them for later in your fridge. Use nipple creams and lanolin on your nipples between feedings. Now, you can't use them with those gel pads, but you can alternate between the two. A trick I learned is you can take a piece of parchment paper and use that as a barrier with a nipple cream on so it doesn't rub off on your bra. Just remember to gently wipe it off before nursing. These creams help keep the nipples hydrated and prevent cracked and bleeding nipples. You can also use nipple covers like these ones, and they even sell ones that collect milk and let down. I'll link my favorites down below. They create a barrier between your bra and your sore nipples, so you can actually keep applying your creams and wear them in your bra. The first product, which I really like, is called Breast Shells, and it basically goes on right over your nipple, just like this. And not only does it act as a barrier between your nipple and your bra, but it can collect any letdown and milk at the same time. And you could just wear it in your bra all day long whenever you're not nursing. And the next product, which is by the company Haka, which is a very similar design, but I think can hold more milk. It's actually called the Ladybug Milk Collector, and it goes on the same way. So similar design. It just goes right over your nipple. It creates that barrier between your bra and your nipple to prevent any rubbing. And it also can collect your milk and your letdown throughout the day when you wear it. My next tip is to go braless as much as possible or as much as you can tolerate. Taking the pressure off your breasts can help with healing. Breast milk itself actually has healing properties, so squeezing some of your own breast milk onto your nipples and leaving them exposed to air can also help to heal them. Warm compresses on the breast help milk flow and can be relaxing during this time. Ice and cold can offer relief, but remember that warm compresses help your milk flow. Ice does not. Ice is good to use for things like mastitis or oversupply. Nurse skin to skin. This boosts both mom and baby's level of oxytocin, which is a calming and relaxing hormone. Skin to skin is placing baby down to their diaper with their bare chest on your bare chest. Skin to skin has many benefits, and research shows it helps with breast milk production. Fuel yourself so you can fuel your baby. Make sure you are getting enough water and food to eat during the day so your body has the energy to make milk for your baby. It is hard work for your body to create milk and burns about 500 calories a day. It is important not to drastically cut your caloric intake so your body can meet these demands. Eat healthy snacks and make sure each time you sit down to nurse, you have water within reach. Be flexible. Rather than trying to fight it, it's easier to just surrender to the process. Let the little things go that can wait during this time, like certain household chores. You have enough on your plate, mama. Sleep when baby sleeps and lean on others for support. Surround yourself with support, whether it's a partner, friend, family member, lactation consultant, or a local breastfeeding support group. Please make sure you have support. The physical and mental toll it takes to raise a newborn baby is undescribable. If you have people in your life who you can trust, please reach out to them to get through this and know that you are not alone. You are dedicating all of your time to supporting a new life, and you are worthy and deserving of support yourself. I hope this video was helpful and informative and makes your breastfeeding journey and those difficult first weeks more bearable. Please know you are not alone. In fact, I even designed this t-shirt that I'm wearing to empower breastfeeding mothers. If you like it and you want to check it out, you can find it at www.passableparent.com. And here's a picture of it right here. Please like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you don't miss out on any future videos. And feel free to comment down below any questions you have or topics you'd like to see me cover in future videos. Thank you so much for your time today and for your support. I hope to see you in the next video.